prep videos this time. For those that are able to see live, we'll be live and we'll go ahead and take questions as we go. For those not, though, they can tune in later. We know a lot of people will watch these videos as it gets closer to Comic-Con. So as we're recording this, we are right over in Seaport Village, right next to the Marriott there. This is never a huge part of Comic-Con for us, to be honest. Like, we definitely go to Seaport Village from time to time. We eat there, etc. But it's not like a ground or a home base for us or anything like that. But we know for a lot of people it is, and we've heard that over the last few weeks. A lot of questions about Seaport Village, and there's a lot under construction over here. In fact, there's at least 3 or 4 major spots that are either closed or say that they're going to be opening in the summer. Some look closer to being open for Comic-Con, others look pretty far off. So we'll try to take a look at those so that you have the latest, and we'll follow up in the days and weeks ahead. So we'll start out here again. We're right next to the Marriott where Seaport Village begins. If you're not familiar with this area, if you're maybe a first-time attendee or new to San Diego and stuff, this is the Manchester right here, and all this back here, Seaport Village. It's a pretty large section of food, drink, and a lot of tourist kind of shopping offerings as well over here by the Marriott and the Manchester. So we start out, we've got Sally's. Clearly they are open. Lots of outdoor seating as well, which we know we've heard a lot of people ask about that. And quick look at the menu offerings they have right now there. We're going to talk about this later today at 4 p.m. Pacific. We will be doing one of our Comic-Con talks, and we're going to talk a little bit about the announcement to changes in terms of the external seating that came as part of the pandemic in a lot of the San Diego restaurants down here, and they have until July 13th to make some big decisions about whether that's going to continue or not. So we'll talk about that more in detail later, but that won't be the case here for Sally's. This is all part of their regular seating, so you can know for sure that will be here during Comic-Con, if that's one of the places you might want to try. All right, as we get deeper into Seaport Village here, we've got the San Pasquale Winery open, Ben & Jerry's. The heavier dose of offerings are on the other side. Here's our map of all. So we're starting on this end, and we're going to work our way across over to the Carousel district. Now, some people may be interested in like Cheesecake Factory and some of those places more towards the front on Harbor. Those are not part of Seaport Village, but the Cheesecake Factory is open, and there are other offerings over there as well. If you're a Funko fan, you go to Fun Days. That normally is lined up back here behind the Manchester, so you might be familiar with the area for that reason. We've got the Ben & Jerry's open over there. But as you can see, next to Ben & Jerry's, closed building there. We've got a closed building as well here. There's several buildings in Seaport Village that are just like that don't show any signs of life. And I think we can figure they're not going to be a part of any Comic-Con 22 plans. Then there's also some, like we're going to come up here on this Old Harbor Distillery, that say that it's coming summer. Or it says coming soon, I'm sorry, on this one. But we're not really sure how soon that means. If you're a fan of Buster's Beach House Grill and Longboard Bar, that was a loss of the pandemic. From what we recall, they did try to make a comeback, but it just did not happen for them. So closed spot there. Old Harbor Distilling Company says coming soon, but the windows are pretty well covered up, and there's no word on when that will be and if that's even actually going to happen here. Got a little coffee shop here. If you're in the area, just to make a quick stop, like at you're getting in line for Fun Days or things like that, there are restrooms over here that we find being some of the few accessible ones in the downtown San Diego area. I'm sure a lot more will be open up during Comic-Con. If you follow us on Twitter, you know we just kind of posted one of the signs that we see a lot of these days, which is room key required to use the bathroom. Don't think that's going to be the case for like big convention spots for volunteers or stuff like that, but saw someone in the chat say they're staying here at the Manchester. That is a awesome place to stay. We have never stayed there, but love it. Love eating there at the restaurant, and also going to Funko Fun Days there. All right, so the Seaport Market, this is primarily an alcohol stop. It is a well-stocked liquor store, but they do have a little bit of like fruit and some grab-and-go type stuff, but not a whole lot. Not a lot more than you would see, at least currently, than you would see at like just any of the grab and goes inside of a spot. You can see beer, wine, liquor, tobacco, snacks, and souvenirs kind of come last. But yeah, that's about the extent. It's just a little wall there, some chips and things like that. The weather actually feels very Comic-Con today. It's 78 degrees, bordering on 80, not too humid, tiny bit of wind. All right, so now we know Malibu Farm is one of the largest, if not the largest location in Seaport Village. And as you can see, it's a mess right now. It is deep in construction, inside and outside. It says on some of the signage that it will be opening this summer of 22. But obviously we do not know what that means, what the timeline on that will be. I would imagine everybody is pushing to be open for Comic-Con. I don't think anybody doesn't want to be open for Comic-Con. But whether or not they are able to accomplish that goal is a different story. The combination of closures down here with the labor shortage does make it a big opportunity for like the pop-up kind of snack bars that we talked about in our last video, like for places like the Omni or the Bayfront or things like that. But would imagine the waits at these various places is going to be even longer this year, the ones that are able to open. Yeah, here's our summer 22 reopening, but as you can kind of see, it is like deep in construction. It's tough from the outside there. But it's, oh, here's a little better angle, or a much better angle Carmel found. So yeah. Yeah, pack a lunch. Good call there. That is definitely going to be helpful. And I know we found with conventions in general, like the last couple weekends with Monsterpalooza and Star Wars Celebration, so few places were open. Many were closing early. Many were short-staffed, etc. And a big part also became like trying to eat opposite hours. So like trying to eat at like 10 in the morning or trying to eat at 2, or these times that maybe were a little less popular. So somewhat surprising me, Geppetto's, the toy store, remained. That was one of the places I didn't know that would make it through all the closures and stuff, but it's still here. It's a beautiful area. And now we're going to transition to a part of it's a little bit busier all the way around over here. Lots of t-shirt shops, lots of souvenir shops of all sorts. I'm not really focusing on those in this video because I know what people are most worried about is the food and drink side, but there are a lot of those. The Christmas store is still open down this way. The flag shop, there's Mosaic Handcraft. But this half of Seaport Village is definitely much more active, particularly with some grab-and-go options and things like that. American Nostalgia is there. Crazy Shirts, the hat shop, all of those open. Oh, you're welcome. I just saw the comment about thanks for the video. Very much welcome, and thanks for tuning in. We love coming down here, and it helps us prep more by trying to help others prep more. There's that Santa's Workshop remains. Magnets, the Magnetic Attractions shop. It's kind of surprising some of the things that were able to make it through and some that were not with all the closures. The Sauk Harbor still there. Edgewater is back. I know that's a big tradition for a lot of people when it comes to Comic-Con. You know, Star Wars Action News used to have their Star Wars breakfast there, or the whole group that they were with used to do the Star Wars breakfast there. That returns. Hello there, Night Bodega. Thank you for your support. Always, always, always. So they are open. They've got patio seating as well. Here's some of the offerings for the breakfast menu, lunch menu. Shared plates and soups and salads. And then we've got the dinner menu making up the other full side of the menu there. Yeah, French toast sounds good. We have not had a chance to eat yet. There's a little bit more traffic getting down here than we hoped. So we had to kind of jump out of the car and get this video going. Some burgers there. Like I said, I know Edgewater is a place. We have never eaten there actually, but we know it's a big tradition for many. And particularly the Star Wars, a lot of Star Wars fans out there that used to do the Star Wars Day breakfast there. Oh, Carmel said there's a Wetzel's Pretzels I missed on the walk over here that is open as well. So another grab and go. Okay, so Louisiana Charlie's barbecue Cajun cuisine. Now this doesn't look that far off. It's another one that says coming soon. They are hiring for line cooks, prep cooks, and cashiers, as you can see there. So I would imagine this one will be there in time for Comic-Con. There we go, Pancakes with Steve Sansweet. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I always wanted to go to that and didn't, and now regret it forever now that it's not a thing. Another Ben & Jerry's here as well, so we've got that on both sides. The Carousel remains. Now you can see how much more lively this side of the spot is, which will be interesting during Comic-Con because it's a further walk from everything San Diego Comic-Con. But obviously it's a local spot as well and other tourists. Let's make our way. Yeah, great. It is a fun spot over here, and being so close to the water is just incredible. We do not live close to water, so we always love when we get out to San Diego to see it. All right, so we've got Margarita's Kitchen Cantina. This is grab and go. A place called Water Grill on Friday. We have never eaten there. I'll have to look into that one. That's one thing this year we've had more requests for like food or like what's available videos. And so as we're doing more of that, I feel like we're learning more and more places. And every time we come down here, I'm adding something to the list to investigate. And over here, noodles. You can build your own there. Order on the other side there, but you got an idea there. It's a good question about the upping of prices for the convention week, and I would imagine some will for sure. I know some places like Vela used to get rid of their regular menu over the Bayfront and substitute a Comic-Con menu, which was a lot more simple, and I don't know, it would call the hamburger like the super hamburger or something like that to try to, you know, capitalize on tying into the Comic-Con crowd. The new spot that was taking its place, Hudson and Nash, is quite pricey. Very good, quite pricey. So that was one of the ones Carmel and I were talking about, like, was this going to be an option? If it is, only lunchtime will only be the option for us, because dinner it went a lot higher, and but it was some great stuff. Beautiful spot. Yeah, and here's more from Tuk Tuk. So you actually order on this side. Yeah. Then we've got pizza back here. So I mean, at the end of the day, this part of Seaport Village is a really nice food court in a lot of ways, with a variety of offerings. So here we've got our Mr. Moto Pizza. We do not live in San Diego. We're about hour and a half, 2 hours away. But during this time of year, we always try to come down if we can once a week, if possible, leading up. And then as we get the week or two before Comic-Con, like practically daily, we make drives down here. Oh, Mike Hess Brewing. So we went by a lot of breweries that are not open. Here's one that is open. I don't see any prices on the menu, but you get the idea of what the offerings are in there. And then here, fresh fish and seafood at Marion's. Just like Happy Days. No pickles. Tuna salad sandwich. Here's more from Marion's menu. Glad to help. Yeah, I know I know it can be tough to get down here, and I know for us, like, we're always trying to time it not to be down here during Padres games because the parking gets so much more expensive and everything is tougher. So I know even for locals, there's so many awesome things in San Diego. It can be tough to make your way down to Seaport Village. Okay, so this is the San Diego Burger Company. This is one of the places that really grabbed my attention on the walk because the prices seem really good relative to the world we live in today, and being in such a touristy place. The burgers smell great. They've got meatless options as well, sandwiches. Hot dogs, and then a variety of fries. Like I said, the prices are substantially cheaper than most things we see down here. So you can see, not too bad of a line right now. They've got limited seating, but obviously you have all of this extra seating over here. Salmon burger sounds good. I concur. So that kind of brings us to the end of Seaport. Now we can see off over here, we've got the Carousel. We're gonna actually, let's go ahead and walk over this way real quick. We'll kind of extend our Seaport Village walk and kind of exit it over here because I know people had questions about this area as well, which is a different shopping area. But we'll take a quick look at some of their offering. You can see the construction there. That's a whole different topic, but as is never a big surprise, the construction down here, all sorts of buildings and spots that obviously are not for Comic-Con, but are in construction, will be changing some of the plans too. It's incredible to think it's been 3 years since we've been down here for Comic-Con. We came down here many times during the light reopenings. Like, there was a point where outdoor dining opened for like 1 day in San Diego, and we just happened to be coming down here anyway. And so like we ate at Cafe Coyote in Old Town and stuff. So we came down here a lot. It was crazy to see as the convention center was closed and being utilized as a shelter, and so many different things going on down here during those COVID times. So it feels good just to see people, like every time we come down here now, out in the world, and obviously getting ready for Comic-Con is a lot of fun. Okay, so Eddie V's, we have never been there. It's way more on the high end side in terms of cost and stuff. Prime Seafood, but they are open and ready to go. And we've noticed when we've been down here, particularly as you kind of transition to like the Friday night, Saturday night, some pretty big crowds there. So it seems like a popular spot, but we do not have any experience with it. Our experiences over at the, as they call it, the headquarters, is more inside here with some of the smaller places. Salsa under the stars. Not during Comic-Con. So we'll move on. So again, some shopping, more on the nails, clothes, things like that. There's a sunglass hut somewhere. Oh, there's the sunglass hut right over there. We have eaten at Puesto before and liked it quite a bit. Really good service, really nice people every time we've been there. Obviously outdoor and indoor seating there. We'll see if they have a menu outside. With any of these two, it's very easy in the world we live in now to just kind of Google the menu and see something there, but we're trying to show the ones that are there. Cheesecake Factory has returned. I know that's been a question multiple times as we've talked about Seaport Village. So even though this is not technically Seaport Village, as we make our way over here, they are open as well. Actually, Puesto's added more seating than I recall them having here in the past. So huge outdoor area. I don't know if that's changed since the last time we were out here, or I'm just not remembering correctly, but I do not recall them having this extent. this could be part of also, I don't know if the additional seating that some of the places, I know that's more of a like 5th Street thing, but as I said earlier in the video, we'll talk more about in our tips video, but there has been a change that those places that have built seating out like on the streets and stuff, the temporary that became semi-permanent seating, they have until July 13th to make a commitment. And there's prices that come with it. There's fees. It has to be ADA accessible. And it has to have no overhead, which we know some of them built C lanes. It can't have C lanes. It can't have wiring, which some of them have lights. So a lot of decisions will have to be made by July 13th for those restaurants. So, all right. So with that said, thanks for joining us on this walk here. We do have a couple other Comic-Con videos already up and another live video coming later today at 4. So if you're interested, please join us. And we'll talk to you more about Comic-Con all through June into July and probably even beyond that. So, until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.